Hello, I'm Stefano and welcome to Rikai Bonsai, my space to learn bonsai from the ground up. Today I will be working on my Mame Benjamina forest that I just harvested from the planter upstairs. In 1 year, the tree cuttings that I planted here have grown a lot, and the soil has become as solid as a brick. So it's repotting time. In case you wonder why I had buried the pot into a planter, I wanted to verify whether it was helping the cuttings to grow faster. Judging by the roots escaping the pot in less than 2 months, I think it's true. Last year, I wrapped some wire around the pencil to make loose coils. Then I screwed them on the cuttings and bent them to create some movement. So, the first step to make now is to remove any wire. The whole root ball is so dry that it gets easily out of the pot. Even the companion rock sticks to it. The next step is to remove the drainage screen carefully and preserve the roots that have grown through it. This is definitely easier said than done, but with a little patience I finally managed to take it apart without damaging the roots. I'd like to completely free the roots from all the soil, so I start to scratch the root ball with a chopstick. The soil is so parched that it turns into dust effortlessly, and exposing the roots is a piece of cake. I think this is yet another advantage in using proper bonsai soil. This is the moment of truth. One cutting is 6 months older than the others. I would like to use the two youngest in a secret project. Hopefully, I'll be able to share more details about it very soon. Will all the roots have grown in proportion? How intricate will they be? Will I be able to separate the cuttings easily? Luckily, all the cuttings have developed a decent, almost radial root system, and they are not tangled one another. The oldest cutting, which I'm going to repot in the same container, has grown a nice root system. The roots are all quite radial and well tapered. Only one has started to grow long and sideways when it reached the bottom of the pot, and a couple of others are possibly a bit too high on the trunk. Nothing that a pair of scissors or cutters cannot easily correct. Snip. Snip. All done! I've got a riddle for you. Which bonsai is cuter than a mame? Yes, you're right, a roots of a rock mame. This rock is a little bit thin, but fits the pot and the roots nicely, so let's give it a go. This pot has just one hole for drainage, so it requires my usual preparation. I shape the drainage screen to fit the bottom of the pot, then I prepare a little butterfly to clip it to the pot. To secure the tree to the container instead, I wrap a thin wire around a thick piece of wire twice. I slide the two ends of the thin wire through the drainage screen and voila! The pot is ready for the tree. Well, it turns out that most of these operations weren't performed exactly in the center of the shot. But trust me, this is exactly what I did. It's time to put this little Ficus Benjamina back into his pot. I pour a mixture of perlite, molar clay and cocoa coir to fill the pot almost completely. I use them in equal measures because I want the organic matter to be able to retain some water in case I can't water my plant every day for a reason or another. I put the tree and its little rock on top of the mound of bonsai soil. I do my best to keep the roots radial, close to the rock and sitting on the soil. I wrap the anchor wire around the base of the trunk and I twist it once with my fingers. Then I cut the excess wire first and then I pull it tighter. Thanks for the tip, Jay. Last but not least, I apply a little bit of wire to support the growth of the tree. Instead of using a wire coil as I did last year, I stick the wire into the soil next to the trunk and I wrap around it with an angle of more or less 45 degrees. I also apply thinner wire to a couple of branches so that they are anchored to one another. Since I haven't used the coil, I'll keep an eye on this tree to make sure that the wire doesn't bite into the trunk. Repotting completed. Here is the Mame Benjamina, with a little bit of soil from last year on top of the new one, just to make it feel at home again. A few finishing touches to the trunk and the wire branches in order to enhance the movement and overall style, and then I can eventually proceed to watering the bonsai. The background is not really neutral, but now that I have eventually moved my hands out of the way, you should be able to appreciate the tree. For now, the pot and the tree go back into the planter, together with the other two seedlings. I'm so excited for the secret project. Stay tuned to hear more about it. But wait, there is more! A couple of updates/new projects. This is the bigger roots of the rock forest that I created a few videos ago. The heat wave luckily didn't affect it. My watering and the recent strong rains have just landslided a little bit of cocoa coir, exposing some roots. They seem stubbornly grasping the bark, which is good. In any way, I'm happy to report new growth on it. This is yet another Chinese elm twig of mine with a bit of wire and a few new branches. It's very young, but I hope to style it as the windswept Chinese elm by Candice from the Bonsai Science channel. Thanks Candice and Emily for the idea. I'm Stefano, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next one.